Hello, this is Alex from phpacademy.org, and in this PHP tutorial for the new Boston, I am going to be showing you how to echo HTML out to a page. So we already know how to echo data. It's just basically echoing out whatever string data we want, and this will produce the result here. Now, what happens if we want to echo out some HTML data? Let's say I want to echo out an input text for a form. So normally this would be done outside our PHP tags. We'd have input type equals, and we'd have two double quotes, and this would be text. We could have name equals, let's just say name, and value equals, at the moment we can just say Alex, although this can be user specified, so we don't really need this. Now, as this stands, this is going to produce this result. We've got just a simple text area here. We can type text in here. Simple. Now, what happens if I want to, somewhere in a PHP program, when we develop into more advanced PHP programs, or code rather, I want to echo this out inside here. Now, you saw in my previous examples that I could use double quotation marks, and this produces a result similar to this. Okay, so it works. Now, let's just say I want to put this straight into here. Now you think, well, it's just going to echo the text out. That's absolutely fine. It's going to process this as HTML, as we've already seen. Now let's refresh. You can see that we've received this parse error, and it's saying expecting a comma or a semicolon on line 2. So if we go over to line 2, we can see it is indeed this line here, and it doesn't tell us where we're expecting our semicolon necessarily within, but we are in fact expecting it here. And the reason we're expecting it in this position is because this has told us that we're ending our echo output. And the reason for this is because we've started with double quotation marks, this appears to be ending with double quotation marks. Now, there are a few resolutions in order to correct this. We can in fact use single quotes inside a double quoted echo output. So we're using double quotes on the outside here, and then what we can do is we can use single quotes on the inside, which will still correctly be processed by HTML. So if we refresh that, we get exactly the same result as we did beforehand. Now, this in fact is by standards incorrect. We want to use double quotation marks wherever possible. So how can we resolve this if we need to use double quotation marks inside? Now, there are one of two ways. The first way to do this is to change the double quotation marks on the outside of your string to single quotation marks, and you can see that if I refresh, we don't produce any error, so this has worked. Also, using single quotation marks is a lot quicker, so we're processing this whole line a lot quicker than we would be if we were using double quotation marks. And the reason for this is using double quotation marks, it's looking for variables inside, and generally it is just a tiny bit slower. So if you can imagine you've got a long program that you're echoing out a lot of data, try and use single quotation marks and you're going to speed up your script more than significantly. So there is another option if you must use double quotation marks on the outside for any reason, and we can use a specific character to escape another character, and in PHP this is a backslash. So if I was to create a backslash here and a backslash here, a backslash here and a backslash here, you can already see that there's a pattern emerging. We're escaping this character, this character, this character, and this character. So any character after this is going to escape it. And what I mean by this is it's going to tell PHP that we want to process this not as anything within PHP, but we want to process this as something in an output. So let's refresh the page and see what happens. You can see that it's worked. So we can even, just to test that it's definitely working, add in a value to this form field of Alex inside this box. So we refresh and we see that that's updated absolutely fine. So that's just a short and sharp way of learning how to echo HTML inside. Obviously, when you get to more complex programs and you're using lots of double quotation marks and you're echoing out maybe a bit more HTML data, which isn't recommended anyway, but if you must, then it's probably better to just use your single quotation marks in the outside, and then there's no need for these escaping characters to appear within. Okay, so that's basically it on echoing HTML out inside PHP.